Hey, what's up, guys? This is Joey at Krav Maga XD today, coming at you with another live video. Today, I'm going to do a little stroll. I'm going to walk with me here. Today, we're going to talk about, we get people to ask us, like, what do we do about our family, or our loved ones, or our significant others, or partners, or children, or whatever the case may be, dogs. What do we do if something happens to us and there's a violent attack and we have to go fight because now we know self-defense so we can actually protect ourselves and our family? So what do we do with that? Well, my advice is a little bit twofold. So there's a lot of different options for this. So option number one, simply put, is to train all together. Have everybody come in, train some self-defense classes together, have some fun, it's a cool bonding experience, etc. However, I know that's very impractical, and a lot of times you can't maybe afford a full suite of memberships, even though it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get too far into it. But the idea is that it's hard to sometimes get a whole family or a husband or a wife or a significant other to want to train with you because maybe it's a thing that you're looking into and maybe they're not as interested. So if they are not training, we're going to take that out of the picture. That's what we're going to assume right now. Now, we get people all the time that come to us and they're like, hey, I want to be able to protect my family. That's my most important goal, is that if someone attacks us, I want to be able to protect us. And that's why we're here. We're here to learn self-defense so we can protect our family, my wife, my husband, my kids, or myself, or my dog. It doesn't really matter, but they're there so they can protect somebody. Now, what we recommend is that you have a conversation with them about a basic plan and understanding of what to do in different situations. So let's say, for example, let's say you guys are out, it's you and your partner. I'm gonna say partner instead of wife or husband, or boyfriend or girlfriend, or kids, because honestly, it could apply to anybody. So I'm gonna say partner just to keep that up and going. So let's say you're out with your partner and someone comes in and they attack you. Maybe they have a knife and they're trying to stab you and take your stuff, or maybe they have a gun, or maybe they're just hoodlums or gangsters, or maybe they're drunk. Maybe something else is happening and it's just an attack and you don't know what to do. So what you're gonna do is you need to protect your partner. I mean, hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. If you need to learn how to screen and stuff, you can go to the other video about screening and VIP protection. But besides that point, what do they do, our partner that we're protecting, what do they do during the encounter? That is the question that we're going to be talking about. So I want you to start running through these different situations and figure out, what would you want them to do? Do you want them to stay put? Do you want them to help and like jump on their back and grab their phone and smash them in the face with it? Do you want them to run away? Do you want them to take out the camera and videotape it for insurance purposes and police purposes? What do you want them to do, and what would help you the best? In my case, I would rather them get away. So I deal with the bad guys, they book it. That would make me feel more comfortable because I'm pretty confident in my fighting ability and I don't want to not worry about them. So that's what I would do. You may be different than me, so that's completely up to you. Now, what about if you hear a noise at night? Do you go check out that noise? Do you stay in the room and guard the room? Which is a good idea, by the way. If you go check the noise, is your partner on the phone calling 911 or ready to? Or are they pulling out the machine guns and they're getting ready to blast away at the door? Like, what is the plan? If you do go check the noise, what do? Do they sit there and just wait under the covers and hide? Do they go into the closet? If there's someone kicks down the door and they're yelling, get over, they're trying to get you, what do you do now? So do they just sit there and panic and scream? Do you panic and scream and sit there and scream? Or are you going out and dealing with the situation? And then if you go and deal with the situation and they're left alone in the room, what do? I would recommend a couple different things. Number one, I would say a good option is to have a kind of like a safe room closet, but not necessarily like a safe room closet with like the metal doors and shit. But basically you can have it to where you have some stuff in a closet. So in our closet, we do have our shotgun there. We actually have an old cell phone that doesn't work anymore, because old phones that don't work still can call emergency services as long as they connect to something. So you can have an old phone with no service that can actually work, so they can call the police if they need to, and that's an option. So the plan could be, hey, if something happens, I'm gonna go take care of business, and in the meantime, you're gonna jump into the closet with the gun, with the phone, call 911, and then I'll give you a code word when I come back, like, honey, because most likely they'll be able to recognize your name. You don't need to make actual code words. It's not that big of a deal. And that could be a plan. So that's a whole plan right there. Other things you can talk about. What if you have kids or a dog that is like your kid, like I have? What do you do in those situations? Well, okay, if there's another kid involved, if there's a kid involved, that's a variable. What do you do? I would recommend that if something happened and a fight was inevitable and you were starting to fight with somebody that was attacking you and your family, that you would fight, your partner, whoever they may be, will grab the kid and evade the situation, get them kids safe, call 911, and then figure out what to do next. So these are all just little tiny plans of action that you need to set up with your partner. Now, I do say partner repeatedly because, well, the chicks here at our school are badasses, so it wouldn't be far off for me to say that they would be the ones fighting and protecting their partner, whether or not it was a boyfriend or girlfriend. So we do, it is what it is. Our girls are badass. There's also situations where people are talking about survival preparedness. We don't really get into that too in depth. Here's the deal, guys. You need a basic plan for everything in life, right? Just a basic plan. You don't need to get super in depth. We have a small plan. If there is a natural disaster or an EMP strike or a nuclear disaster and like roads are closed and like shit's going down, okay, have a plan. So that way everybody knows no matter what, we all meet at home, or no matter what, we all meet at this place. And that's a simple plan. That's all you need. You don't need to go super crazy. That when the sun hits the northeast, then we travel west and we all meet in the central location of latitude and longitude. No, fuck that. Just pick a place, and if you need to, that's your plan. And at least you have a plan. At least when something happens, you're not wondering, what do I do now? Where do I go? Where's our partner? Well, I don't know what to do. At least have a simple plan. So I'm not gonna go super in depth in that. You can go really far deep down the prepper hole, and that's not something that I recommend, because then your life gets consumed by it and all you're doing is worrying all the time, wondering what bad thing's gonna happen. Have a basic plan and you're gonna feel much better. And if something does happen, chaos won't happen. And I'm talking right now about self-defense too. Funny story. My training partner Kyle and I, back in the day, we made a plan. And we're like, dude, because we're both expert level Krav Maga instructors, and we're like, dude, if there's ever a fight, what would we do? So let's have code words. So like, if somebody comes in and tries to attack us, or there's shady people, if I say code red, that means it's dangerous. Like, this is like gonna happen. If I say code orange, that means, you know, there's a threat in the area. Just keep an eye out. So one night, it was like 1 a.m, we're at Del Taco, and this group of like thuggy people walk in, and these guys, like bloodshot eyes, hoods coming down, like just they were looking bad. And I remember we both looked at them and we both looked at each other like, this is probably like a code orangey red, because this is like a dangerous situation. But what that did is it got us both super hyper aware of what was happening, and so at least we were able to be more cautious of the situation that's surrounding. In fact, there was a time when I went up to go get a refill, and the two of the guys like surrounded me because they wanted to get a refill too, I guess, but they were like staring at me all weird and like just trying to be all alpha, you know. And I remember in my head, I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna be fun. Like, first off, I got my drink in my hand, so drink is gonna splash in that guy's face while I attack that guy. And then I turned around and I looked at Kyle, because he's on code red too, and he was looking at them like with his eyes, and he had like hot sauce in his finger. He's like, oh yeah, if we're gonna eye gouge him, it's in a freaking it was one of those funny stories where, it was a long time ago, where it's just a super simple example of just being prepared, having a basic plan. Luckily nothing happened. It was more just fun and funny to talk about, but that's a simple idea. Guys, if you want to try the class, go to kravclass.com, check it out, have a good time. And it's Monday, I think. Yeah, it's Monday night. Awesome. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.